Good morning. Good morning, everybody. How we all doing? What I know is today is Thursday. Today is Thursday, December 7th, a day that will live in infamy. Because if you don't remember, it's Pearl Harbor Day. 72 years ago. So, you spilled the coffee? It looks like I got a dirty glass. Anyway, today is a Thursday, December 7th. It's nice and cool out today. And I just decided to do a stream on Thursday because I don't think I want to do a stream tomorrow. And because I'm headed to Pattaya with 2/4 Korean Jano. We're meeting up with a guy named Mike and also Mr. Carnivore Chronicles. And we'll be seeing Pattaya Bob, hopefully. So we have about 5 or 6 people that we're meeting up with. And we're headed to a place which I don't know where it is. I think Jono knows where it is. Unknown destination. But we'll get there, and we'll be there for a few days. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'll have fun. I don't want to have too much fun, honestly, if you know what I mean. I'm along for the ride. I'm along to go there and drink coffee and eat, film some stuff, go here and there. That's about it. But, I was on my way over here. I decided to take a Grab to come over here. I got a suitcase because I'm bringing my rope coffee maker. I've got a few things. Okay. Hopefully you had a good time. But I'm bringing a couple things, so I got a suitcase. It's small. It's like an overhead suitcase, and I got my little bag here. And I thought, I'm not taking the boat. I'm not taking the SkyTrain. It's going to be a hassle carrying this suitcase around. I just went, I don't want to do it. So I got a Grab. Now, I haven't been taking taxis lately because I've been getting everywhere by SkyTrain, Subway, whatever it is, CityLink, boats. I just have not been taking taxis that much. And the other day I took a taxi with the wife, and I couldn't believe how congested Sukhumvit Road was. So today I get the Grab, and it's an electric car. And I was like, okay, cool. Very cool. So I started talking to the guy about what was involved with the car. Did he like it? How much he paid for it? I got all this information. So I made a video out of it, which is good. But it was very interesting. And there are more cars now on the road that are electric, because I've had a couple of people tell me, oh yeah, I was in a taxi and it was electric. It was a lot of fun, kind of cool. But it's a new thing. That's all. But he was telling me he gets 500 kilometers in a day, or 500 kilometers on a charge. And he said that lasts him all day. Usually, by the time he goes home, you know, he's in need of a charge, and there are charging stations everywhere. This is pissing me off, this fucking Starbucks AIS. It's not going away. It's not hard for him to find, you can charge it at home. You can charge it at home, you can charge it at stations. There are stations at a lot of gas stations. And so he was happy with it. And he paid $1.2 million for the thing. You know, which is not overly expensive. You know, a nice guy. But I got a video on it. You know, basically I'm just sitting there talking to him, asking him questions about you know, about the thing. And that was pretty interesting. But yeah, I've been taking the BTS almost everywhere. I take a motorbike to the BTS, and I go just about anywhere I want in it. And I tell you something, I come down here now, and you know, I hate to say this, but this is a tourist area, Sukhumvit Road. I'm right on the edge of it. I'm at the W, which is on the edge of the tourist neighborhood. This is a tourist neighborhood right here, but it's right on the edge. And it goes all the way the other way. Now, I really have no desire to come down here to eat, no desire to come here to party. I just come down here to meet people that, you know, that I gotta meet, because it's easier this way, and that's fine. But like, the traffic is absolutely murder. It took us an hour and 15 minutes. Hey Tom, how you doing? Hey, thank you. All right. Good morning from Bangkok. Are you in Bangkok? But the traffic has been miserable. It's just so bad. It's an hour and 15 minutes to get from my house to here. Normally, it might take 30 minutes, 45 minutes at the most. And if I take the boat, it'll take about 30 minutes. From the time the boat leaves the pier to when I get here, and to when I, you know, get out and walk, it's like 30 minutes. Get out, well, usually I take a motorbike, and then I walk a little ways. But anyway, you're in Sathorn. Oh, cool. Well, I'm in Prakanong right now, and we're getting ready to go to Pattaya, which I have no idea why I'm going there, but I'm gonna go. Well, I know why I'm going. I'm going to hang out with the guys, you know. Shoot the breeze. Morning, morning. I'm gonna go shoot the breeze with the boys. Sit by the pool, play pool. You know, go out, have a little bite to eat here and there. But I did want to talk about something that actually, Tom, since you're here, it reminds me of this tax issue that has been brought up and is supposedly going to start January 1st. All the foreigners bringing in money here, foreigners who live over 180 days here. And some people can go, oh, well, just live here part-time and live somewhere else part-time. That's a pain in the neck. I mean, if you want to do it, and you're set up that way, like, you know, you come over here with the intention of doing that. But for somebody like me who's been here for a while, and I don't have any place back home, I mean, I guess I could stay with my parents, you know, but like bring the kids and it'd just be, you know, bring the wife. What's the wife gonna do? She's gotta work, you know. So yeah, I don't know. That's not a solution for me. But the thing that I don't get yet is they really don't say anything about there's the double taxation law. People talk about it and they just kind of say it like it's in passing. It's not in passing. And okay, well, let's say that you're in the 35% tax bracket in Thailand and you're getting taxed 30%. Well, you're going to get charged an extra 5%. People are going to be screwing this system. I'll tell you that. People, what are you going to do when somebody takes money out with an ATM? You're going to track it? How are you going to track it? I mean, I guess you could. I don't know. How are you going to track someone taking money out from an ATM? You go, oh, he's been here more than 180 days. How are you going to do that with everybody who takes money out? Because I can tell you what I'll do. I just won't put money in Thailand unless I absolutely need it. And then what I'll do is I'll take the money out from the ATM. I mean, I can use Wise, but then, you know, that'll show up. And the amount of money that I make, you know, I mean, yeah, you get a tax write-off in the United States. You can't get charged twice, but you're still going to have some left over. It's just a pain in the neck. And these Thais that are doing this, I think they're still working on it. They really need, and you know, I know they're trying to maybe put it out there, but like, to me, it's poorly thought out. Really poorly thought out. I don't even know any other way to put it. To me, it's a cluster or something or other. I just don't understand it, and yeah, I mean, if they're out to catch the Thais, okay, I understand that. People bringing in stuff from a different year, I understand that. But you got some guy bringing $1,500, $2,000 a month, or he's bringing it. What's he gonna do? He's gonna bring in $1 million baht for his condo. It cost him 995,000. He's bringing $1 million in. You're gonna tax him on all that? Oh, it's gonna be exempt. Okay, well, you got to figure these things out, and you got to let people know. And this is the thing. There's really very few little information that's come out about this. What's going on, guys? May need to file a Thai tax return. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess if they want to give me a number, but I'm not going to go somewhere and sit in line and wait to get my number. They can, you know, whatever. Come to me. Make it easy for me. Let me go online. Because this is a deal breaker. It could be a deal breaker, but what I'll say is the amount that I would be taxed on, because I get taxed in the United States, is probably next to nothing, so I'm not complaining about it. But it's just the hassle. I don't know if they're trying to do it, and I don't really think they are. I don't think that people are like, okay, well, we don't want foreigners staying here, so this is what we're going to do. I don't think they're doing that. But I hear all these lawyers coming out, and they're all trying to give their spin on it, and they all got different perspectives on it. And to me, it's too much. It's like, let one person come out and say, this is the way the law is, here are the guidelines, make it simple. And that's the thing with taxes, is they're never simple. Hey, listen, by the way, do me a favor, click the like button. I don't want to have to remember this stuff, but smash the like button, smash the join button, smash the subscribe button, smash, 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 smash. Please, and smash the super chat also. Thank you, and thank you, Tom. I appreciate it. So the thing is that at this juncture, you can look at the law and you can say this is the law. But then what happens is, oh, what about people who are in a double tax country? Well, what are they going to be charged with? Listen, you ain't charging me on my Social Security. I can tell you that right now. It ain't going to happen. I'll go somewhere else. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not paying tax on my Social Security. It's as simple as that. There's no way that, first of all, the guidelines for Social Security and for pensions is that you are only taxed in the country of origin. Not taxed in the country of origin and then taxed again. You know, to me, that's a no-go. You're going to tax what little I get from Social Security. And you're gonna tell me I gotta pay 15, 20% on that, whatever it is? No, I don't believe that that is the way to make it happen. And honestly, if I have to go to America every year and bring money in cash, if I have to bring cash in, I'll do it. I'll do whatever I have to do. I was accepted foreign prices on national parks and such because I don't pay taxes. Will Thailand level the pricing if we pay taxes? Well, that's the other thing. What do we get for our tax dollars? What are we getting for our money? Do they level the playing field and say you're a taxpayer, you don't have to pay 10 times what you pay or what a Thai pays? Are they going to do that? What are they going to do? Oh, I'm getting photos from my yoga instructor. Ooh. Well, that's good. So, you know, the thing is I'm on the road now. I'm missing a yoga class today. I'm missing one on Saturday. I'm missing one on Sunday, and I'm missing one on Monday. So, I've already told them, but they're like, you know, and me, I'm like, I'm just going to have a good time. I want to, you know, it's like, it's a priority, but I'll find a way to exercise out there. Even if I have to go swimming, that's fine. You know, we got a swimming pool, and that'll work. Anyway, but getting back to this taxes. First of all, nobody likes to pay taxes. Everybody wants to get out of it. You know that. There is no, everybody's thrilled to pay their taxes. Hey, how you doing, Mike? People are not thrilled to pay taxes. It just doesn't happen. Now, what really gets me hot is if they attempt to tax you on your Social Security or your pensions. I think that falls in the other category if you listen to some lawyers. To me, it's like, wait a minute. If you're, let's say that you earn $25,000, $30,000, we'll say. That's not very much, right? In America, it's not much. So what they're doing is trying to level out the playing field by making people pay taxes. So it's more expensive to live here. You make $30,000 in America, you probably are not paying any taxes. $25,000, you're not paying any taxes, or you're not paying very much. Okay, whatever. Then you earn that money, you come over here and they go, oh, we need to see proof that you paid it. And what do I get for it? Yeah, do I get health insurance? Do I get to be on the government? Do I get the 30-baht plan that the Thais get? Do I get to pay exactly what everybody pays, all the Thais pay when they go into a national park or attraction? What do I get for my money? I get to live here? That's not enough. I'm sorry. I love this place. It's great. There's a lot of great things about it. But it is not the end-all, be-all. I hate to say this, and I've said this to people before. This is not the only place to live. Now, I was checking about the freedoms that we have. And just real brief, I plan on doing a video about it. You know, America's like 25th in the freedom index. Thailand is like 110. So if you really want to break it down, you know, we already know there's certain things we can't talk about. And I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. I don't need to talk about these things. I'm not interested. And if I really did want to talk about it, I'd do it behind closed doors or whatever, and that would be it. But when you start taxing me and I get nothing other than, oh, you get to stay here, that's not a good deal. If you're looking at it as a businessman, no businessman in their right mind is going to come to Thailand and pay taxes just so they can live here. Unless it's, you know, you're paying a pittance. Now, I don't know. You know, if you're not paying very much, you know, if I had to pay $1,000 a year, I'd be like, all right, whatever. You know, if I had to pay $50,000, that's a different story. you're gonna get your Thai ID. Okay. Yeah. What's the deal with the helmets? You know. I mean, you see people, they're driving around, they got their mask on, but they don't have a helmet on. I don't understand it, but there's a lot of things I don't understand. And you know, one of the things that I've been saying a lot, and I've said it more in the last couple of years, is that I don't care. I don't care. I really break it down to what is important to me, what affects me. That's how I look at my life. If it doesn't bother me or my family, if it's not going to make our life change dramatically, or my friends, I don't care. When it is going to change my life, and see, this is the thing, I don't know if my life is going to change because of this. So what are they going to do? They're going to start counting from January 1st, and then when you get to day 181, you are now going to be a person that they've been keeping track of, and you're going to have to pay taxes. I don't know how they're going to do it. I don't know all the steps that they're going to go through, and I have no idea what they're going to do. And I don't think anybody else does. And that's why all these other people that are talking, it's all conjecture right now. It's all, here's the law, this is what we see, and oh, by the way, I'm not sure about this with the law, I'm not sure about that with the law, because it depends on this and it depends on that. It's all conjecture. The only thing you know is that if you're over 180 days, you are supposed to be a taxpayer. And that when you bring in a certain amount of money, you might have to pay tax on it. And I say you might have to pay tax on it, because there might be ways around it, I don't know. And this is the thing, I don't think anybody really knows. You know, yeah, well, I mean, okay, get permanent residency. It's funny that you're here as a retiree, and you can pay taxes, but you can't become a permanent resident. You can't become a citizen. Why is that? Oh, that's, you know, oh, you don't understand. No, I do understand. I understand that the foreigners, just from the perspective of a foreigner, oh, I've got to pay taxes, I don't get anything for it, and I'm not a citizen, I'm not a permanent resident, I don't get health insurance, I don't get, so what do you get? You get nothing. Now, I could be wrong, because you might get something, I don't know, they might come out and say, this is what you're going to get, I don't know. I'm just saying, as of now, it's all conjecture, it's all up in the air, we're all guessing. That's all we're doing, we're guessing. Yes, there's a chance we might have to pay taxes, but we're not sure about that. That yes, there is a double tax law, which means it might be a pittance what you pay, but it's all conjecture. It's all just people thinking they know what the deal is. And you know, I've got one guy that I'm friends with. He's a nice guy, a pretty intelligent guy and everything, but he's from the UK, and he's already figured out, well, this is how much I make from my pension, and if I transfer my pension over here, I'm gonna have to pay this much and that. And I'm like, where are you getting all these numbers from, buddy? They haven't said you have to do that, and you're just gonna do it for what? For your own edification? I mean, I don't understand it. And then just because you earn the money in the US doesn't mean that you don't have to pay tax here. That's the point. All my money is earned in the United States. Every bit of money I have comes from the United States. So why do I have to pay taxes here? I understand paying a small amount. You know, maybe I can understand that. For something, what do I get? That's the whole point. What am I going to get for my money? You know, if they make me pay 30,000 baht a year, that's $1,000 a year. Okay, that's not really that much. You know. You got money in America, you bring it over here, boom, they're gonna try to tax you. And to me, that's a bunch of BS. I don't think that it's right. But really, the thing is just like always, they don't tell you everything. They tell you just enough so that you know what's going on the surface. You know, oh, I might be taxed. But they don't give you all the specifics. They might be revising this. Who knows what they're doing? I don't know. You don't know. None of us know. That's the thing. Even all these lawyers out there. Yeah, I mean, what's going to happen now? People are going to want to smuggle over, $50,000 so that they can live in Thailand for the next 2 years. They'll go home once a year and smuggle back 50,000. I mean, what are you going to do? And then it's, okay, I go to the ATM. Then what happens is, I could foresee this. All of their banks will track all of my cards with my name on it. How would they do that? Because if it comes down to it, what are they going to do? Here's the thing. If I go into, say, the mall Bankapi, and I want some shoes. Now, normally, most of the time, I just scan it, boom, or I put it on my Amex, which is a Thai Amex. If I decide I'm going to use my bank card from America, I charge those shoes, and I charge everything that I can. I charge my groceries. At the end of the month, we'll say that I spent 100,000 baht on my card from America. I didn't bring anything into Thailand. So what are they going to do? They're going to tax me on the 100,000? Well, probably not. But you can see just the kind of situations that this brings about. So, to make it very simple, I think it stinks. I think that they really need to, especially for something this serious. I think the serious issues, they can't just throw stuff up on the wall and see what sticks. They can't do that. I think they really need to think it through, and I don't think they thought this through. And if they did, well then why can't somebody come out and talk about it? Why? Now, if you ask me if I'm worried, first of all, I'm not somebody who's living off of, $1 million baht a month or something like that. Well, I have, yeah, you can open a Schwab account. I have a Schwab account that I don't use. I didn't go in and put the paperwork in, and I could have done that when I was home. I probably should have. But I have a bank in America that I don't get charged any fees, and they refund the fees from Thailand. When boarding the plane over here, officers were questioning passengers about how much money they were carrying. Which, wow. I would like to say none of your business. Ain't none of your business. Well, it's like, I don't know. And these are some of the reasons why I really don't want to travel that much anymore. It takes the fun out of traveling. You got people asking you how much money you're carrying. And then there's the whole, sir, take your belt off. Oh, you can't wear those flip-flops. They have metal buckles in them. And it's like, Jesus Christ. It's taken the fun out of it. And I always am going to have family, and I would think I'll always have family in the U.S., which means I'm always going to have to go back. But honestly, do I really want to go to, say, Italy? Do I want to go to Australia? Yeah, I'd love to, but guess what? Do I want to go through the hassle? No, I don't. I don't want somebody patting me down that I don't know, who's like, just like trying to find something when I've never been convicted of a crime. I've never been in prison. So why are you bothering me? Oh, for your safety. I don't want safety. I don't care about my safety. Leave me alone. It's just like banks. you know, they'll lock your card, they'll do this, they'll do that. Oh, it's for your protection. My protection? Buddy, you know, I don't need it to be protected. Now, if I got 100K sitting in the bank, of course, I'm insured against it. So if something happens, yeah, it's inconvenience, but that's it. I'm not telling anybody anything. I don't have to tell anybody a damn thing. They can ask me all they want, and I won't be difficult about it, but, you know, believe me, I'm silent. And you know what I'm thinking inside. You know, you got to really think about it. Nowadays, you almost have to think about it as if you are like James Bond, if you are the Invisible Man. You have to think about it that way. And I hate to say it, but, you know, there is something to be said for having a passport, like a second passport, a third passport, if you can get them, if you have the money, the financial means. Now, I don't really have it. I don't have it right now. But believe me, if I could, I would. And, you know, I thought about Ecuador. Ecuador is a very corrupt country, more corrupt than Thailand. I hate to say that, but I just was looking at the rankings and also the freedoms, less freedoms there. So, okay, it is a place I like, but I like Portugal. I like a lot of places. I still, you know what? For all the smack I might talk about America, if I only have to live there for 3 months, I'm there for 3 months. I'm visiting. It's fun. Doesn't bother me. 6 months might be a stretch. You know, I'd have to go somewhere for a month or two in between or something, you know, just, and then, you know, it's like I tell my wife, what am I going to do? I'm going to do exactly what I do here, and it's going to cost me, you know, 3 times the price. I don't know. You know, whenever this comes up, like, I'm very hesitant to get upset and to, you know, cry foul and, oh my God, they're doing this, they're doing that. I don't think they're purposely trying to stick it to us. I don't think they are. I really don't. It may seem that way, but I don't think that they are. But I do think that they don't always think logically or critically, however you want to put it. Or they just let information out too quickly. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt. But you think about it. Any other country where you go and you're paying taxes, you're going to get something for your money. So what are you getting here? Anyone? Can anyone tell me? Oh, I get to plot myself here. I get to plot myself down here. Well, wait a minute. I pay for that already. I have a visa. I pay for that. Well, the pot laws is a little bit different because, well, I mean, it is the same in that we don't know what is going on, what they're going to do. We just know what they say, and then it's like, all right, you know, the truth is between the lines. And they say, oh, it's only going to be for medical use only. I don't believe that. And if it is for medical use only, then every doctor and his mother is going to be able to issue a card to people who are going to be able to get it and go, yeah, look, I need this. I get headaches every 3 years, so I need a card. It's too entrenched already. It's like right now there are more weed shops than there are coffee shops. It's crazy. And, you know, coming from someone who used to be a pot smoker a long time ago, I really, you know, I enjoyed smoking pot. But I was young, and honestly, I think I was dumb. For me, it does nothing except make me stupid. So I don't need it. And I understand it might relax some people, it might take the pain away, it might just take you to another place, whatever it is. So I'm all for it. You know. And what's funny, I was talking about Kratom the other day in the video. And 2/4 Korean came to me and he goes, you know, you mentioned that? He goes, and I looked around, and next thing I know, I'm looking and I see all these places selling this stuff. And yesterday, I was driving down the street and I saw a little tiny stand. It was like a table, a small table. And they had an igloo, a styrofoam igloo on the table that had bottles of the stuff in it. And they couldn't have had that many. And that's where they're set up now. So they're everywhere. It's going to be just like weed. Eventually, the word will get out about kratom. Because I don't think that there's, you know, they say, oh, it's addictive. Well, okay, maybe it is. It is if you're putting in other stuff into it, of course. But, you know, these kind of things, they leave it seems to me they purposely leave the wording very vague so that you don't know what's going on. You're just sitting back going, okay, I'll do whatever I have to. I just don't want to get in trouble. And I, you know, I don't know. You know, there's part of me, you know, at 61 is not very old. Okay? I mean, I feel the difference between now and 21, of course, but it's not that old. I could live to be 91. So, you know, I got a lot of life left in me, right? But I can tell you that already, my patience for nonsense, I don't have any. I have no patience anymore. It's just, that's it, done. Well, this is the kind of nonsense that you know, one of the types of nonsense that I'm referring to. You know, it's like, listen, if I was a weed smoker, I'd be like, you guys better get it together. You better figure out what you're gonna do. You know, yo, good morning, there's the weed smoker. Or just, your ears must have been burning. How was Thailand? You know, you got all these things going on, and then you think about how logical they are. And that's the thing. Sometimes in America, you get logical results from what you do. Sometimes you don't. But here, it seems to me that, you know, they do things ass backwards. And I could say that all the time. Ow. But, yeah, so where does that leave us? Where does that, first of all, the kratom, I'm glad not that many people know about it. They have drinks out. You know, I didn't know this. I didn't know anything about this until, you know, I was on my wife's land, I don't know how long ago it was, a year or two ago. And it was like, oh, here's some leaves. Oh, what are these? Then the next thing I know, I see there's drinks in 7-Eleven. There's drinks being sold on the street. There's stronger drinks being sold on the streets. And I'm like, and guess what? They're not shutting them down. And now there's weed shops everywhere. And the weed is extremely strong. It's potent stuff. So potent that some people OD from this stuff. Now I don't know how that works, because I couldn't imagine that. Because when I was, you know, growing up, nobody OD'd from weed. You know, it was Acapulco Gold and Mexican ragweed, and now they're talking about, oh, well, you know, if you're going to bring money in, you got to pay tax on it. Say what? You just think about that statement. If you're going to bring money into, assuming you are a taxed expat, you're going to bring money into the country, so you have to pay a tax on it. Wow. Now, maybe they're trying to get the ties with this. They're not worried about the small fries. Maybe. That might be true. But it just gives a bad, this is the thing, and I've said this for a long time. Impressions are everything. ties are big on impressions. And I've done this before, I know what it's like. If you go into a place and you expect it to be a casual, you go in a pair of shorts and flip-flops and a t-shirt, and there's people there all dressed up in suits, you feel out of place. You don't belong there. So you got to kind of get it right. But what is it that we get? There has to be, you're paying your money for what? Oh, it goes into Thai society and they benefit from us. Oh, I mean, you know, and this is the other thing, Bruce. Think about this. Now, let's say that I go to the ATM once a month to take out, let's say 60,000 baht. I just want to have 60,000 baht a month at my disposal. Now, first of all, why would I put it in a bank? Why would I put that money in a bank? For it to be safe? Okay, why not put it in a safety deposit box? Why not put it in a safe in your house that's hidden? And just accumulate that money, and then you can spend a little bit when you want. But let's say that you take out 60,000 baht, and you do that 12 times, once a month. Now, if you did it 6 times and you did it on the 179th day and you are not a taxable expat, then you should be fine. But if on that 7th month, you're over 180 days, the bank should be reporting, hey, Scott Mallon took out money from his ATM. He took it out this many times. Now, what kind of a pain in the ass is that? And secondly, can the banks actually do that? Which I think if they really want to, they can. But would the Revenue Department ask the Thai banks to do that? Because that is a huge amount of work. So where is the benefit from that? Like, the amount of work that's necessary to keep up with this, to me, seems like it's exorbitant for what they're going to get out of it. And in the goodwill, that there is no goodwill between expats and the government. Sure, there's a few who say, oh, they're just doing it for this, and they're doing it, this is okay. And yeah, sure, there are people, that's the 20%, their 80-20 rule. But the 80% are going, wait a minute, I'm retired, I get a pension, I gotta pay tax on my pension to these monkeys? Well, you know, this is another thing, because, you know, you think about how many foreigners there are in the country. Now, think about this. I can tell you, in my neighborhood alone, there are Burmese people everywhere. Does this mean that if the Burmese are bringing in money, well, Burmese is probably a bad example because they're not going to be bringing in money. But let's say that for whatever reason, you have some vendors, some merchants here, and they're bringing in money from their country. Now, do they have to pay tax on it? You would think yes. Well, this is the problem, the tax treaties. Do I have to prove it? Do I have to prove that my funds were taxed in America in order to get that benefit in Thailand? So, in other words, if I'm taxed $30,000, if I'm taxed on, say, $25,000, we'll say, I'm taxed on $25,000 in America. Now, what happens if it's a gift? What happens on inheritance? What happens on all these things? They haven't made it clear. Oh, it just falls under this. No, it doesn't just fall under this. What about my double tax treaty? And I'll tell you this, the double tax treaty is set up with all of the first world countries. It's set up with more countries than it's not set up with. And that's because why should you, who earned the money while you were in another country, you were earning money in America, let's say you're collecting rents, whatever it might be. Listen, it says apparently it says in the bylaws for Social Security that Social Security is only to be taxed in the United States, and that's it, the country of origin. Now, I can tell you from Social Security alone, they're not going to tax me. And I don't want to get Medicare that's not free. I don't want to pay for my Medicare because I live here. So, why would they tax you on your Social Security? Oh, because we can't. No, you can't. So I want to see what happens. I mean, you know, I'm reserving judgment, honestly. Because right now, like I keep saying, it's all conjecture. We have this law that says you're going to be taxed if it's over 100, you're here over 180 days and you earn a certain amount, but none of the specifics have been laid out. We already know, oh, this is 5%, this is 10%, 15%. We already know about this stuff. But we don't know, like, when it comes to Social Security, why am I going to pay tax on it? In the United States, I'm not being taxed on it because I'm not supposed to be. Does that mean I got to pay tax on it here? In a double treaty? I think not, because I can tell you there are plenty of people who will take their pensions and take their Social Security and go live elsewhere. And then Thailand's going to be like, the thing with Thailand, and this really just burns me up. Think about the beginning of COVID. Think about during COVID. They were begging for tourists. They were telling expats, please, do what you can. Go out and spend money in places. Please, please, please. They were begging people. And they said, we really need to move to a new model where we don't rely on tourism. As soon as things opened up, it's been forgotten. They don't think about it anymore. Why is that? Oh, we changed our minds now. This is Thailand, flip-flop. Flip and flopping. I'm right here on the other side of the... sitting over here. I don't know if Mr. Arnold is in the house or not. But what really burns me up is that they don't really have it together. And they'll come out with these things and they'll freak out the population. They freak out. I don't think the Thais are freaking out, but they're freaking out the foreigners. There's a lot of foreigners that are just, oh my God. Oh my God. If it's not your country and you don't like it, then leave. Oh, okay. I hate that saying because, well, it's one thing to bitch and moan about certain things. It's another that when you've lived here and you are comfortable and they've allowed you to live here, it's not that they change a law and it's a little bit of a change. Now, it might be a little bit of a change. I've said that. It could just be, it could be minor. It could be you don't pay any tax because you don't earn that much. It could be you're going to pay tax, but it's only 2,000 baht a year or something like that. It might not be that bad. So, you know, why freak out about it? That's the whole thing. But what most people will say, if you don't like it, then leave. Okay, well, a lot of people will leave. And a lot of people have already left. So what they're doing is creating reasons for the exodus to continue. And, you know, I don't know. We'll see if this is something very serious or it's something that really is not that bad. Because this law has been in place for years and years and years. So Farang Travels, I hope you're being facetious with me. If I don't like it, leave. And the thing is I might leave. And yes, it's a little bit more difficult when you have a family. You know, this is the thing. When you move to be an expat here, they don't make it easy for you. You know, now granted, my kids got dual. I'm fucking streaming. What don't you understand? Fucking knucklehead. I told you where I am. Jesus Christ. He's calling me up, and it's like, what are you calling me for? I messaged you. I sent you the message that said, I'm at Starbucks near Jono's. Unbelievable. Anyway, so Mr. What is it, Farang Travels? Yeah, like I said, I hope you're not directing your comment at me, because that's what I will do if it gets that bad. If it's to where I'm gonna be paying tax on my Social Security every month, or you know, whatever, once a year, yeah, I'll leave. I'll find another place where I get treated better, because that's what it's all about. And you know, I'm bringing it out there like these other people are online on YouTube or wherever. I'm just bringing it out. It's a situation that, you know, like, do I honestly worry about this? If I really thought about it and thought, do I need to worry about this? It's a little bit concerning, but I'm not overly concerned. I'm not really thinking, oh, it's going to change my life. It's going to make things terrible for me, and I'm going to have to, you know, go somewhere else. I'm not thinking that. So I'm not that worried. I think I'll be okay. But I want to see what happens, and that's the bottom line. You know. And, you know, there are some people out there who may have a large amount of money, and they want to bring the money over here. Now, why would they bring the money over here and then have to prove they've been taxed on every bit of it? Maybe they've saved up money. Maybe they have earned that money and they've been sitting on $3 million for years, whatever it is. And they've been building that money. Now, how are they going to prove that that money has been taxed already? So it's what I would say is the Thais have gotten themselves into a tricky situation. To me, it seems like it's difficult and it's hard to work out, and how are they going to figure everything out? To them, they might just go, oh, this is the way that it is. And you go, well, what's the way that it is? You know. And for me, if I was to carry back, say, you know, $20,000, if I carried $10,000, my kid carried $9,999, my other kid carried $9,999, I could bring over $40,000. Not that I have that right now, but if I had to do that, I could do that. And I wouldn't be paying tax on any of it. Well, assuming they don't stop you in the airport and tell you, oh, you're going to have to pay tax on this. Who knows? You know, what happens with that? What happens if you go to Vegas, you win in Vegas, you pay tax on it right there, on the spot, you have to pay taxes. And you say, okay, it's time, my trip is over, I'm going back home, and you're carrying the money on you. Are they going to ask you to pay tax on it? Are they going to put a hold on it? Well, you could do it, you know, if you really wanted, you could do it 5 months and, 29 days. But, yeah, see, you're kind of set up for that, Tom, which is good. I don't know that I'm set up for that kind of a lifestyle. I don't know that that's what I want to do. And I don't know right now, God, it would be a couple of years before we really could make a complete move. Unless my wife quits her job and we start something else up, which that could happen, I guess. But I don't want it to start in the United States, because that's... Yeah, I don't want to start over in the United States again. If we were going to start over, I want it to be in retirement, which is kind of funny because people come here to retire. They don't go back to the States. usually. They don't go back to the States to retire, they come to Thailand to retire. So, you know, that's a bit strange, but hang on one second, all right? God damn it, hang on. Let me see how I do this. I don't even know if I can do it. God damn it. Okay. All right, so I mean, you know, don't get your panties in a bunch. I would say relax a little bit. Take it easy. And wait for things to transpire, because then you can act. Right now, you just have to know, okay, there are certain things that could happen. What am I going to do if they do happen? How am I going to proceed? And that's what I'm waiting for. Now, you really, most people, they don't know anything. You're figuring things out, and you're figuring out stuff you may not even know. You know? And, you know, let's just say that you're earning money from a rental property. At the end of the year, you have to declare that rental property on your tax return in the United States. So, you know, why would you have to pay tax on it in Thailand? Why would they have a different tax structure? We already know they have a different tax structure than the United States, but why would you have to pay money on money that, let's say that you've earned $1,000 and you paid tax on 800 of it. Now you're gonna have to pay tax on the other 200? I don't think so. I don't think that's how it works. But again, we have to wait and see. And you know, like I've said, me included, everybody who's talking about this now, you're guessing. Yes, you can go to a lawyers. Yes, you can talk to people who supposedly know what's going on. I dealt with them in the past a long time ago, and yes, they were a pain in the neck. I dealt with them when I was in Phuket. It's not something you want to do. Listen, that's the thing. You want to stay, I hate to say it, you want to stay away from these kind of places. You don't want to get involved with the IRS in America. You don't want to get involved with the Revenue Department here. You don't want to get involved with immigration in America if you don't have to. Or here, you don't want to get involved with them. Stay away from them. Don't go in there willy-nilly, talking about what you're going to get. Or what you need. Oh, can I do this? Can I do that? Oh, God. That's the worst thing to do. They'll act like they're your best friend. Oh, yeah, you know, I got friends there and that. They're not your friends. I know people who are in immigration, and they are at the top of immigration. Now, technically, if I needed them to do me a favor, they would do me a favor, and then I owe them a favor. That's how it works. So, do I need to think to myself, well, you know, I don't have to worry about this because I got friends in high places? No. Most of the time, us Westerners, us expats from the West, we don't have the pull to negate everything. Yeah, I don't want to rely on them for anything aside from my Social Security, which I paid in. I paid into that. This is the thing that people forget. I paid into that program. When you get a pension, you're paying into that. Whatever it is, you are generally paying in. What are you going to get back? You don't just pay in for your, well, I feel like paying in because I'm good-natured. No, that's not how it works. And again, what I'll say, what has the Thai government stated that they are going to compensate the Farang for their taxes. Well, wait a minute, I'm paying taxes, don't I get health care? Well, wait a minute, I'm paying taxes, don't I get to pay 20 baht like the Thais do when they go into a place? Wait a minute, when I go into the, what the heck is it? What the scale? When I go there, Thais pay nothing. I pay 500 baht. Well, I'm paying taxes, so I don't have to pay anything now. How does it work? How will it work? And you know the answer to that? I don't know. And nobody does. Even the Thais who are involved. Usually there's a boss that they're reporting to. The underling has to talk to a couple other people and try to get them to work everything. By the time it comes back up to the boss, it's completely different than what it was before. Listen, do me a favor, leave a thumbs up, smash the thumbs up button. I would appreciate it. We've had as high as about 45 people in here, and I only got 14 thumbs up. So do me a favor and smash that button. That would help supposedly with the algorithm, so I'm told. Smash the like button, smash the subscribe button if you haven't done that already, smash the join button, smash the Patreon patron, smash everything. Cash App, smash it all. And thank you to Mr. Eric. I want to give him a shout out, Mr. Eric. Thank you very much for the Cash App, I appreciate it. Yeah. Thank you. It was a nice surprise, and choke D to you. So, I guess where that leaves us is the same place as where we started. And you know, I don't mean to be rude or obnoxious or be, you know, pushing things too much, but like the bottom line is, when it happens, and they come out and say, this is what's going to happen in this particular case. I suspect that most people, they have very simple tax problems. Their problems are not very difficult. People like me. I don't have money coming in from 100 different places. So it should be easy to figure things out. Then you're going to have the more complex, and when people have money coming from, say, rents, they got this pension, that pension, Social Security, they got this money, that money, and, you know, things are going to be more difficult. Now, maybe, guess what? Maybe they're not going to be difficult at all. Maybe no one's going to care about this, and it's not going to impact us at all. I don't know. But that's why I say, I don't know. Because how can you be sure about anything here? You can be sure that they're going to tax you. Oh, really? I don't think you can. And first of all, taxes that is paid by Thais, what is that money used for? Well, that's another thing. The amount of Thais that actually pay tax, I don't know what the percentage is, but it is a little bit suspect, and I don't think some of them pay taxes. Some of them just decide to forego that. Some of them do it under the table, and that's the way they want to do things. So whatever, they get away with it. Maybe they don't get away with it, but I don't really know. But the money that the Thais have available to them, nowadays, the government, I don't know what their budget is. I haven't looked at it. I probably should. I should look at it and see where it's all going. Because I'd like to know, why is it that the foreigners are always paying for everything? Now, what about this new tax that was supposed to come into effect? I don't think it's come into effect yet. That's the entry tax that people were going to start paying. It was something like in April. What happened to that? It was like 300 baht or something like that. What happened? Nothing. It got forgotten about, or it's still in the process. What happened to that? It was supposedly for emergency insurance. Okay, so if I'm paying taxes, I don't just get emergency insurance, I get complete government health care for like 30 baht. Or no. See, that's the thing. What do you do most of the time? I'm not sure. Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Airlines refused to collect because it was probably too difficult, because people were going to be going, well, why are you... But what happened is the airlines are going, why do I have to add money for all the Westerners, all the expats, but I don't have to add it for Thais? There's no way to differentiate. They couldn't do that. And guess what? Nobody said a word about it lately. I haven't seen anything about it. So yes, it takes me an hour, hour and a half to get it out there that what you knew before is exactly what you know now. You know, but what I would say is take a deep, if you're like one of these guys who's freaking out, what I would say is take a deep breath, relax, and kind of let things pan out. What I've learned in my 30 years here, almost 30 years, what I have learned is that much of the time, you don't jump right when they say jump. They say jump, and then you kind of wait, and you let everybody else do what they're gonna do, and you kind of look and see, and then you go, it's a good thing I didn't jump, because I would have been jumping into the crocs. I would have been in the crocodile pit, right? But then maybe you wait a little bit, and you go, oh, well, now I can jump. Isn't the tax money used to pay for roads, lighting, police, and many others? Yes. That's what it's for. So, it's another example of how governments supposedly cannot balance their budgets. How if I balance my budget like they balance their budget, or the United States balances their budget, I'd have, a bunch of guys that are like 6'6" coming to get me with baseball bats and ruining my life forever. They'd put a hurting on me. Well, guess what? Nobody puts a hurting on the governments. People just complain about it, and then what do they get? Nothing. You're lucky you get to complain. It's ridiculous. And, right now I'm talking about it. You could call this is my verbal enema. I get to vent a little bit. But, most of the time, I don't worry about this stuff. It hasn't happened yet. I don't see it in full swing, and oh my God, it's going to take half my money. No, that hasn't happened yet. So I'm not worried. And when it gets closer, and I know it's pretty close, January 1st is supposedly going to take effect, but I want to see what happens and what they say about it. I'm just not worried. I just don't. There are other things to worry about in life. I worry about, am I healthy? Am I eating properly? Is my family healthy? Are they happy? What's going on? These are the kind of things that I'm worrying about now. Nonga. And when this comes about, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. And of course, if I hear anything more on this subject, where the situation changes, I will be happy to come on here and say, hey, now I know something. For the most part, I think there's a little bit of fear-mongering going on. And I do think that people aren't stupid. What am I paying my taxes for? What do I get? What do I get? Why am I not an equal? You know, why am I not an equal to a Thai person if I'm paying taxes? Oh, because you're not a citizen. Wait a minute. Yeah, but I still pay. Why should I pay anything? Why do I have to live here? I don't have to live here. I'd like to because my family is Thai. My kids are comfortable here. I'm comfortable here. I don't want to leave. I love this place. I really do. I can honestly say that this place for me is better than anywhere I've ever lived. And it's much more relaxing. There's a lot of great things about it. There's some bad things, but for the most part, there's bad things everywhere, and I don't worry about them. You know, I always get the food that I want. I always, you know, my clothes are always clean. I have a pretty good life by that standard. If I want to go somewhere, I can go there. If I want to fly out and go to Indonesia, I can do that. I want to fly out and go to Cambodia, I can do that. Whatever it is. But when it comes to moving your whole family, that's a different story. And I'd have to think long and hard about it. So what I really want to see is the bottom line is if the majority of foreigners is going to pay a tax, what is the average tax? Let's get that out there. What do they suspect the average tax a foreigner will pay? What am I going to pay? If they say, oh, Scott, you're going to have to pay 200,000 baht a year, I'm going to be like, what? No, bye. If they say you're going to have to pay, say, 1,000 or 2,000 baht, I'll be like, okay. Shut up and go away. That's kind of what I would do. So, you know, that's what it breaks down to. And just ask yourself, am I sure about this? Am I sure about what they're going to do? Am I sure about, are they going to the left or to the right? You're not sure. I don't care what anybody's telling you, you're not sure. If you are sure, it's because you're dreaming it. I can tell you the Brit that I talked to that's telling me, oh, well, I'd have to pay about 1,400 baht a year. And I'm like, listen, until they come out with the final numbers, first of all, you don't need to bring your pension over here because in England, you can get your pension by living here. You don't have to live over there. Some other things maybe you can't get. You can't get seen by their public health department, but for the most part, he doesn't need to do anything. All he has to do is show how much, really the only thing I would think he would have to do is say, here's my tax return, this is how much I got charged for my taxes. Okay, what do you get charged in Thailand for? Well, the first, you got 30,000 you got charged on. I'm not gonna pay for 30,000. Okay, well, you don't have any other monies coming in, so guess what, you don't pay any taxes. If that's how it is, no problem. You know, but the simple fact that they're making you get a number, if they make you do that, and it's a pain in the neck, you know. So what I will say is, while I'm not sure about anything, and I don't particularly like what they're doing, and I don't think it is great. Really, I don't think it's very good what they're doing. I don't think that they're pleasing the expats, which they know, but I do think that, I think they should have waited before they said anything, and they should have released more information. But you know, at the end of the day, they're gonna say what they want to say. They're gonna do what they want to do, and all we can do is hope that they're reasonable. And so far, I can't say that they've been unreasonable. So that's why I'm thinking, for now, just keep it cool, relax. And if you got to gripe and groan when you know the specifics of what's going on. Yeah, that's exactly what I would say. When you know what's going on for sure, then you can gripe and groan. For right now, I would just say, let's just see what happens, okay? All right, who was the last person? It's not as if Thailand can put a lien on foreign. No, you can't. And this is the other thing, you know, it's like, wait a minute, they've got to have plenty of money coming in from their taxpayers. They don't really need our money, but they want more. It's always about the money. It's always about get me more. You know. I don't know, you know, how much in the red they are or how much in the black they are. I don't know, and I really need to look, and I need to look at their national budget to see what's going on. So, anyway, appreciate you guys joining me today. Kind of short notice. There he is. Well, why do you keep calling me? Didn't you see I was streaming?
No. I figured it
Should have
out.
just went on YouTube. Well, he made it.
I was waiting for John.
Let me see. What do you do? Cut your hair?
Yeah.
Let me see.
Well, they cut it short.
It's pretty short.
Yeah.
And you shaved.
Yesterday.
Yeah, I shaved yesterday.
But
And I'll shave again probably tomorrow.
just a beard trimmer.
Huh?
Okay. You anything?
Nah, I'm all right. I already had a coffee. Anyway, well, I'm going to ask him. Let's stick around for a minute. I'll ask him what he thinks about it. Because he's here now. And if he's here for over 180 days next year, he's a tax resident. So I'm anxious to hear what he has to say about what he thinks about it. And if they're going to charge him on his pension, that's, to me, I'm just going to say he won't like that. But if he's getting paid in the United States and he's taking money out with his ATM card, which I don't think he's doing that. He could have brought the money over himself, some money over in cash himself, so that he just doesn't have to worry about it. I don't know. And the other thing is, yeah, what about people that are bringing over dollars to Thailand? Are they going to tax them when they go and exchange it if they've been here for over 180 days? How are they going to go about doing that? Or would they do? I can't see them doing it. Oh, you're a tax resident. You have to pay tax on that money that you're exchanging. I don't know. I don't think they can do that. Anybody else out there? Anybody got any thoughts? Any views on this matter? You got 27 people watching, 28 people watching, but you got no views on what I'm talking about right now. Somebody? Let me see something here. Strange. Well, let's just wait until Mr. Billy comes back. So that I can just get his quick, if you get a Thai tax ID and report your ATM withdrawal, you avoid money laundering charges. They record all ATM withdrawals. And with a tax treaty, no worries. What you're saying is you need to report your ATM withdrawals you avoid money laundry charges. So they would actually, if somebody was here and he was here 181 days and he's pulling money out of his ATM, you have to report that. I don't know how they're gonna. They record all ATM withdrawals. I understand that the bank can record all the ATM withdrawals. I don't know. I just think that it's like you got thousands and thousands and thousands of transactions, and so if they want to catch you, they have to go to that specific transaction or those specific transactions for you. With a tax treaty, no worries. Well, I don't think it's all that simple. Now, it could be. There are expats that split their time up in different countries too, but I understand that, but nobody wants to do that. This is what I'm saying. If you do it because let's say you're single and you just moved over here and you go, oh, I'm gonna have to do this. I'm gonna have to go half and half. Okay, it is a pain in the neck to do that. Yeah, I wanted to ask you. We want to get your take on it. This tax issue that they're talking about. What do you think about it? What if they tax your VA benefit, your VA money?
They don't really think
Well,
about it.
supposedly that it goes into the other category, and they're supposedly going to tax it. And I'm like, how can they tax it if you're paying tax on it in the United States? Oh, you're
No,
not
actually,
subject to taxes.
I don't pay tax
Yeah,
because it's disability.
right. But because of that, it should be exempt.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what I'm saying.
Well, the only way they get that is if they tax me on my ATM withdrawal.
See, here it is right here. As I understand it, if you get a tax tie ID and report your ATM withdrawal, you avoid money laundering charges.
But nobody knows
They
yet.
record all ATM withdrawals, and with a tax treaty, no worries. So, again, it. Okay.
Like, I'm not going to fret about it because, like, so much shit.
Yeah, well, that's what I've said. That's my. The point is
Until
that
we see the actual
what we
law,
think about it
the
before
actual
this
law.
to what we think about afterwards is exactly the same, because we don't know the specifics of these laws. And while the lawyers might say, oh, well, it's this, it's that, it's this, it's that, but the bottom line is, like, okay, you're different than me. Let's say I'm getting Social Security now. Are they going to tax my Social Security?
I don't think they're going to be able to write up
No.
that bill in time like they want. It's going to be a shitload of paper. Like,
Well, I don't know. They're working on it now, supposedly.
Yeah,
And for somebody like you, you got VA benefits. Are they going to tax you? Well, you shouldn't. You would think logically they cannot tax you. But it could happen. I mean, I don't know.
are they going to
And
change
with
the
some-
wording of retirement visa because you don't have income?
Well, no, I don't know, but you know, I don't know. That's another thing. A Social Security or a disability pension is not income.
Are they going to give us high prices at parks? and shit?
Well, what I'm saying is we should be exactly equal when it comes to paying for things. We should pay exactly what the
If
tithes
they
pay.
tax foreigners and we don't get anything for it, and they get all the benefits and we don't,
Yeah,
a lot of
that's.
people are going to leave that can afford it.
Well,
They're
I
gonna
know a
piss
lot of
off.
people will leave, but what Tom was saying is he's in Thailand 3 months out of the year. He's in Florida 9 months. Okay, I understand.
Tom,
Or
the
you
brown-
can-
The brown guy?
And he's been in here before.
The brown guy? That Tom?
I don't
Brown,
I don't
Unibrow?
know. I don't. No, not Unibrow. No, not
Well, his
him.
name's Tom, right?
Huh?
Unibrow, that's Tom.
No, that's another Tom.
No, but I would say that's his name too. There is also named Tom.
Yes. Or Leonard Brezhnev, you know. But
Unibrow.
there are people that are saying, oh, well, if you just stay 6 months in one country and 6 months in another, yes, you're not going to have to worry about that. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
well, who the hell wants to do that?
Yeah.
I mean, I understand if you set it up that way and you've got a house in, say, Florida or
Gennaro might.
Amsterdam or something like that. Yeah, but what are you going to do? Where are you going to go? Cambodia?
No, I'm not doing that. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
If I was younger, but
Nobody
I'm
wants
getting
to.
older, I don't want to do that.
Well, what I keep saying is that if you are, let's say you're an older person and you're not the kind who wants to go, I don't personally want to run around all over the world and go here and go there like I did on my trip this year.
Now, vacations is fine, but to live.
Yeah, a
I'm not-
vacation, okay, that's
I actually hate change. I don't like it. Picking
For a
up.
month, I can see going overseas for a month, or I can see going to the United States and staying there for a month and then coming back, and then maybe 8 months later going back for a month. But that still makes me a resident here, a tax resident. So for some people, I don't think they want to live in multiple places. Yeah,
Plus,
I would say that
you're married.
the majority
You
of
got
people.
single, you got kids. You know.
Yeah, and if you're married, then that means, oh well, the wife's going to have to come with me, or you're not going to be with a wife, and that won't fly.
No.
Don't fly with me. It doesn't fly with her. So, anyway, all right. Well, there you have it. 2/4 Korean has spoken. If he says it, it must be true.
Don't worry about it when they come out with the law.
Yeah, worry about it when they come out with everything, all the specifics, and we learn just what they're trying to do. Okay?
There's going to be a lot of going, pushing back, going forward. With these
No, I know that. Just like I always say, they throw it up on the wall and they want to see what sticks, and then, they throw it up again and throw it up again. And I don't know. I don't see them getting this all together in the next, 3 weeks?
No, it's massive. But
3 weeks. It's got to be a massive undertaking, and yeah, just relax. Take it easy. Take a chill pill. All right? Some of you are supposed to be retired. You're supposed to not be worrying about things. So don't worry. Take it from me. Don't worry. I've seen these things come and go many times over. Just don't worry yet. Just relax. Like I said, don't get your panties in a bunch, and everything should be okay, I guess. Anyway, I gotta go. It's time to go. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining me. Please click the like button, and anything else you can do, I appreciate it. And yeah, I'll talk to you later. I don't know when, but I will talk to you later, okay? Take care. Choke B. Jerk and my. That's good luck, and I'll see you later. I'm Scott. I'm an American in Bangkok. Tom, you take care. Have fun. Tom is here right now. He's in Saturn right now. So, anyway, take it easy. We'll talk to you later. Arrivederci, ciao, and all that good stuff.